get marijuana? That is the purpose of this meeting, ladies and gentlemen.
Marijuana is referred to as Mary Jane, pot, weed, or tea.
That Michoacan, man, Acapulco Gold, man. I even smoke that tight stick.
We're smoking reefer.
The realest thing smoking on the internet. The Podheads Webshow.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is 4:20 on a Wednesday night in April.
Yeah.
You're in the Cipher with the Podheads. I'm your Commander-in-Chief, Frank the Tank. And as always, I'm hanging with my very best buds, JB Perez.
Yeah, what's up? What's up? It's JB Perez, like Frank the Tank said, in the Cipher once again. Podheads JB on all social media platforms. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, you like, you comment, you share, all that shit, boy. Can't wait for another show, boys. Let's do it.
Making C Money.
Hey everybody, it's Making C Money at Making C Money on Instagram at the Podheads Webshow. Glad to be here in the Cipher, in my home Cipher actually this time.
Yeah.
Good to be back, guys. It's gonna be a good show. I'm baked already. Let's do it.
Faux show, and of course we can do this without the Gorilla Glue. Gorilla Glue, who keeps this whole thing together, the producer extraordinaire, K-Strad.
What's happening is happening. Yep, we are already baked, but awesome to be in here with the Cipher. My name is K-Strad. You already know. Follow me at K-StradB on social media, Instagram. Also check out my streams at my gaming streams on Twitch at Tank25, the number 2 FIV.
K-Strad, great job as always, sir. It's going to be an awesome show, folks. Make sure you stay tuned. We're going to answer some important questions like, have Americans stopped having sex? You'll find out soon enough. We're going to find out what burns C Money's high, because I love that.
Not having sex, probably.
Yeah, probably. And
I don't have that.
We're going to talk about the C word, the big C word. It's not what you're thinking, potty mouth. We're going to talk about the cancer. That's right. So stay tuned. It's going to be an awesome one as usual. Here in the Cipher with the Podheads.
Yeah.
The Podheads Webshow presents Pioneers in Pot.
All right, you're back in the Cipher with the Podheads. It's your Commander-in-Chief at Podhead Frank on all social media. Look for me, follow me, show me some love, I'll show you right back. Don't forget to follow the Podheads.
Yeah.
Follow social media as well. We've got K-Strad B, we've got Making C Money, Podheads JB, and of course at the Podheads Web Show. Look for us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Show us love, we'll show it right back. But moving forward, before we start the show, we have a tradition. So, shall we do this as we always do?
Yes, we shall.
Yes, the best
I've got
part of the show.
Bilbo Baggins in the house, guys.
Bilbo
Welcome back,
Baggins.
Bilbo. Very nice name. Very well carved. Is that hand carved? Do you know?
It is hand carved.
Yeah.
It's not the, it's not the fanciest thing in the world, but it was a gift, and I like,
Okay, cool. I got my dab set up here, as you know. I'm a big fan of the dabbing rigs nowadays. Ever since I went and got me some dab, I gotta have my dab. C Money, take it away, bro. What do you got?
I got the pen as usual, and I actually had it waiting for me when I came home. I forgot I did, so on the drive from the airport, I said, oh fuck, that's waiting for me on the dresser like a trophy of some sorts. And it's OG Kush. I purposely got a more weed-y one. I made up that word, if you will, instead of like the fruit shit that I get. So,
isn't it
awesome.
The best when you have weed lying around you didn't even know?
Yeah.
And it's just there. It's like a weed
fun.
present, a weed miracle.
Yeah, when you find like a grinder full of bud, or like just like a clip like this big, in a random ashtray. It's like finding $20 in your pocket.
Really.
A little mirror.
Yeah.
So what's everybody been up to? Actually, K-Strat is over there choking on some
Yeah.
dabs.
Yeah, it's been pretty good, you know. Always upgrading some gear. As you can see, I'm sitting in some nice, comfortable goodies right here. I got myself an E-Win chair, so that way my scoliosis don't fuck with my life. So yeah, I went to a chiropractor and he's like, yeah, you need to sit up straight. So I was like, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, so the chiropractor was actually the one that recommended, since I'm always, you know, on the computer and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's been kind of fun, you know, just going around, just making some new moves with the family, and you know, just kind of growing. But
K-Strat, you're like one piece of technology away from turning into an Asian kid.
I'm
No
telling
offense.
you, bro.
You're surrounded
it's
by technology. You got the chair.
I think it's the eyes already. I'm already Asian as it is. I smoke so much. I think I'm turning Japanese. You know.
I really think so. Let's see, Money, what you been up to?
Well, I just got back from being down there, actually, with you guys, and visiting some relatives who happen to be there. So we're going back and forth. And it's weird, you know, I left in shorts and short sleeves and everything, and I got to New Jersey. It was fucking freezing.
Yes.
It's like 49 at the airport.
Yeah.
Just amazing, bro. But it was fun. I sat next to a cute chick. She was cool. I didn't really talk to her too much, but it was nice sitting next to actually someone attractive. Girl on a plane.
I always buy a drink.
Make your baby go toing
If I
toing
have
toing, you know.
somebody that is very attractive. I always buy a drink, so at least I have the offers there.
So you
Whether
just
they
say,
accept
would
it
you
or
like
not.
to drink with me?
Exactly. Can I get you one? You know what I mean? Can I get you
Yeah.
one?
When I looked at the menu on the thing, I saw like the cheese and shit. I thought of this motherfucker here with the wine and cheese and everything. Oh my god.
Pinkies out.
On an airplane.
That's the
Yeah, so it's just, you know, being back here, gotta go back to work, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, dude.
Back to
That's
life.
I'm with
awesome.
you, C
Back
Money.
to
I
reality.
like C Money said, man, we just came back from the Cypher in Florida. We were doing another GCW event, right? That was fun. So big shout out to GCW. That was a good time. I'm sure the video's already out on our Instagram and stuff, and I'm sure that Nothing Else on .tv episode's coming out real soon. So but yeah, I was there with you, and the weather thing hit me like a ton of bricks too, C Money. But what I've been up to other than that I really wanted to talk about or let you guys know and my fans out there is that if you know me in the show, you know that I volunteer ROTC Drill Comp. And I talked about it on the show before, but they went to nationals this past year, and long story short, they actually did really, really well. Took some trophies home, first, second, fourth, fifth, and at a nationals level, that's legit. You know what I'm saying? 30 plus schools. So I'm not going to say, you know, that I'm the catalyst of all these trophies, but I wasn't there last year. I was there this year. And here we go. They won a bunch of trophies. So
Have they won before?
Okay, so the team I specifically coach have never won a trophy in the entire existence of nationals. So I'll give you that. Okay, the other teams that also won, they have won before. When I was there in 2003, we won that same nationals first place. But they haven't won first, second in a very long time. Again, the only difference is me. So thank you. But Fred, before I ask you about it, I saw on the news that this the LA rapper, right, Nipsey Hussle, got killed. So I wanted to bring that up because there's some, not drama, I guess not, because I read today that the cops are kind of figuring it out, but there was a conspiracy theory about this whole thing, and I know you knew a little bit more about that.
You know, this Dr. Sabi, or I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but essentially it was about this doctor who claimed that he found the cure for AIDS back in 1985. Okay, and essentially the FBI tried to put him in jail and silence him for claiming or making a false claim that he found the cure for AIDS. Long story short, he appealed to the Supreme Court and won his case. This man stood in front of the Supreme Court of the United States and proved that he was not lying when he said he had the cure for AIDS. Nipsey Hussle was doing a documentary about that. Now, there's conspiracy theorists all over the place that are saying that the person that killed him might have been a hit because of the documentary. who knows? Regardless of the
That's why I
fact,
wanted to
it's
talk about it, Frank.
yeah,
I kind of bit into that conspiracy theory. Another guy shot down by the government. But I read today that the LAPD have some video. Pretty much, it was a personal vendetta. Some confrontation happened earlier today, and it was a personal matter.
Well, here's the crazy thing: if the government was involved, that's the story you would hear, right? They would put that out there, so you never really can know. The sad thing is, the headline here is, a young man, 33 years old, he's as old as me, bro, born the same year as myself, and was doing essentially a lot of positive for his community. He was killed in front of his store. He was talking to the youth about financial awareness or fiscal awareness, and doing positive things for his local community. So a lot of people are torn up about what a lot of people are saying is the senseless killing. I guess what bugs me is that you never hear anything positive about anybody until they get killed these days. So I'm just saying, like, now that Nipsey Hussle is dead, it's a shame that it takes this for people to start speaking about all the positive that he's doing. I'd like to see a little bit more good news about, minorities, about people in our demographic doing positive things. But that's my 2 cents. Moving forward, though, just to kind of fill you guys in on what I'm doing before this takes too long, is I want to talk about death as well, right? In really one form. One thing that is killing Americans almost at an equal rate, or at least climbing to a rate of heart disease, is cancer.
Yes.
Guys, I don't know about you, but I'm fucking terrified of cancer. I'm a very independent person. Just the thought of a debilitating disease just taking over my body from the inside out
scares you, huh?
And fucking me up. Yeah, really, really. It does scare me. I mean, think about that, right? I mean, not for nothing, but we've met guys in better shape than us who have passed, who have, fallen to the disease. And so it's something sobering. And I saw for our higher learning today, I have some facts about cancer that I'll get into later. But it was very sobering learning how many things that we come into contact on a daily basis cause cancer, or at least heighten our risk of getting cancer. So I'm trying to HelloFresh, shameless plug for them. Fuck you guys, they ain't paying us. But I was looking around at many of the different food service places, and I thought that was the best for me because they claim to be farm to table, fresh, no GMOs, all organic. And so I'm going to try them out. And that's mainly why I do it. Basically, I got a kid here. I got a 15-year-old. I do the show. I work. I can't spend an hour and a half cooking every night. So I feel like I spend about as much feeding everybody as I would on these meals, so I'll just get the damn meals.
I guess the numbers work, right, for you. Plus, you're trying to not get cancer.
Essentially, I'm trying to eat as farm fresh, as like pure as possible. Now, if I find out years from now these guys are lying, it's gonna fuck. but essentially, yeah. I'm trying to go back to the old days. My dream one day, guys, is to have a farm. Like, my retirement, the way I see it, is to have a farm where I can grow my own fruits and veggies, maybe have a couple chickens, a cow or two, and eat and grow my own veggies. I would like to get back to just health, just no processed food, nothing like that.
It's crazy you mentioned that because I'm actually right on the same train right now. I've been making some huge, health life changes as far as like foods and stuff, and it's tough though because there's a Netflix special I wanted to kind of talk about a little bit, and it's called What the Health. And it basically talks about how all these food organizations that were taught to us as young kids, like, Oscar Mayer and, Kraft and, cheese and processed foods have become the source of us, getting all these cancers and such. So now in this documentary series, they talk documentary. I know. In documentary series.
Because we're all baked.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about that later, K-Strap.
Oh yeah,
sure.
I do. Yeah,
I want to definitely give that that segment, it's at the time it deserves, because Netflix is doing some incredible things, especially with that. So we will be talking about that later. Stay tuned, because if you haven't seen it, we're going to talk about some products that I guarantee you use every day that Netflix has revealed is increasing your chances of catching cancer. But before we get into that part, let's get on with our big news, the main news that we love to cover here on the Podheads Webshow, and that's the Week in Weed.
That's right, Frank the Tank. Thank you very much for that great intro. It is time for hashtag the Week in Weed with your boy JB Perez. This is a segment where I scour the internet, scour the world for the most important 420 news, marijuana news, and bring them to you here in this segment. I gotta be quite honest, the news in marijuana has kind of been slow ever since legalization has become kind of like the norm under states. There's not no news under that aspect, but I will find the news for you. And here's your first one, guys. Staying with the government, there's another bill being introduced by the Democrat out of Colorado. Another federal bill is being introduced that will basically protect the states from any federal interference or any federal retaliation, whatever you want to call it. If the state is a legal marijuana state, this bill will protect them from any federal bothersome. Okay, and that's your headline, guys. And I think that's important. Anytime there's new laws changing the way things were, the wrong things, and especially where feds is still completely 100% illegal, and now states becoming legal, you have these people, civilians like you and I, wondering, am I gonna go to jail? Are the FBI gonna come in here and take all my shit? And that has happened. Google it, search the news. They have been raided. Legal marijuana, either patrons or business people, have been raided by the feds because it is still illegal federally. So anyway, guys, that's the very first one, is that there's a new bill being introduced that will protect all the legal marijuana states from any more federal bogusness, I'll say that.
That's great.
That's insane.
Excuse me. I'd like to see that pass. I'm not hopeful. I would like to see it pass, though, because, I mean, like you said, JB, there's a lot of people who have suffered because of the federal government getting involved, especially in places where it's legal. I mean, Tommy Chong is one of the martyrs, if you will, of the marijuana movement. He was selling glass and bongs in a very legal state, in a very legal way, and he was essentially entrapped by Nancy Pelosi, the FBI, and the federal government to get him to sell a bong to somebody in a state where it was illegal. And even though he refused the guy, you can look it up, Google it, they did a whole documentary about it. Even though he refused the guy multiple times, the guy was extremely persistent and just essentially wore him down to the point where he said, fuck it, I'll meet you at the border or something like that.
Let's keep it moving. The second headline I love bringing to the forefront famous people you and I know and the world knows, who have become marijuana pushers, marijuana advocates. And there's another one, Tom Brokaw, guys. Here's your headline. He just recently became a medical marijuana user and a proponent, guys. Sad news is that Tom Brokaw has cancer. He has blood cancer. And going through all the chemotherapy and all that stuff, he's dealing with that situation, but he takes cannabis, medical marijuana, for pain, for relief. Tom Brokaw, 79-year-old, NBC, right? Your mom knows him. I know them. He's seen as a trustworthy, intelligent, not a pothead, not a drug addict, using medical marijuana for what it is. And here you go. So that's your headline, guys. Tom Brokaw, unfortunately, has cancer, but has become a user of medical cannabis. And in Florida is where he lives now, which is probably one of the biggest states that needs help in the push, needs more people to join that bandwagon, per se. Tom Brokaw is a medical marijuana user, guys. We have pop pioneers in every show. So we have, it's examples of people that the stigma's it doesn't fit them, right? Genius people who are trustworthy, and they're using it as a medicine is what it is. I mean, that's always been what we, the Podheads, talk about, and what all with the CBD
an herb.
It's an
herb.
It's a plant.
It's a plant, just like anything else. It helps for people like Tom Brokaw, for reputable people to smoke marijuana. I tell my kids, look, it's not good to smoke before the age of 25. It's not good to smoke if you're an athlete. It's not good to smoke if you work for the government or you're a doctor or something like that. But there are presidents, multiple presidents that have smoked. There are geniuses who have changed the world, like Steve Jobs and Elon Musk, who smoke weed. You know, there are religious people. I mean, it's weed smokers are not a division, a segment, a niche, a subculture. They're not. Right. They are sitting right next to you. They are your bosses. They are your grandparents. They're your cousins. You know, they're your politicians. It's here. It's just as common as beer or alcohol. So just get fucking used to it.
Yeah, and it's gonna overtake all those drugs anyway. But yeah, great point, Frank. And that's why we want to bring you. Hey, look. This person also sees the cure of medical marijuana, sees the plant, the herb, the medicine that it is. Anyway, guys, moving on. We're super behind the clock, I'm sure. The last Weekend Weed headline will be super quick. It'll end in a somber note, and I'll read it right from the headlines, guys. Neville Schoonmaker, quote unquote, the king of cannabis. He was the founder of the Seed Bank of Holland, which was the world's first world's first cannabis seed bank, okay? He passed away just recently at age 62 in Australia. And that's the Week of Weed, guys. Hashtag Week of Weed, baby. Podheads Webshow. I'm going to just go ahead and take it to break, guys. At the Podheads on Instagram. You're on YouTube right now, so you subscribe, like, comment. We need all that love. If you get at us, we'll get right back to you. Shout out to UCW. Shout out to Care Beyond. Out to all of our sponsors out there. Yeah, we'll be right back, guys. It's the Podheads.
I love it. So, guys, yeah, we're here at Cannabis. Mr. Gomez is here. He is the mastermind behind all this, behind GCW, behind Cannabis. He brought the champ out here, the champion of GCW.
That's better.
He's and if I understand correctly, the champ is putting the title on the line tomorrow here at Cannabis, right? Yeah. So tell me a little bit about that.
So we figured why not debut a pro cannabis professional wrestling company at one of the world's largest cannabis events going on in the Southeast.
Oh yeah.
So we figured I'll bring in all the heavy hitters for Generation Championship Wrestling. Mr. Gomez and I have ensured that we've contacted the top shelf talent, is what I like to call it. As you would go into a dispensary, you've got your top shelf, bud.
Exactly.
So
sure.
I've gone in to the finest dispensary of professional wrestlers, and between Mr. Gomez and I, we have found what's going to make Generation Championship Wrestling the leading forefront in professional wrestling business, but not just a regular professional wrestling business. We're a pro cannabis wrestling business. This means we don't look down upon the people that choose to medicate. We don't look down upon the people that choose to use this recreationally. I rather do this and make sure that I can wake up tomorrow morning feeling like a new man and make it to work than to have one pill too many, one drink too much, and accidentally not wake up for the rest of my life.
Absolutely. That's a good point, champ. You hear that all the time. I mean, we all know the horrible stories that we've heard from some of our favorite wrestlers coming up as kids, some of our favorite sports entertainers who have destroyed their bodies from the inside out. It's bad enough they're doing it, every day in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So we're big proponents of that. Obviously, we do this show for the same reason. Sure. So we appreciate you guys coming out, and we appreciate Mr. Gomez for bringing that.
Of course you do.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Podheads Webshow in the Cipher. See Money at Making See Money at the Podheads Webshow on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all that bullshit. Guys, this is actually interesting. I'm known to use social media apps, dating apps, this, that, and the third, as most people nowadays. It's kind of sad that's what it's come to, but that's what I do when I travel to places. Not necessarily to hook up at most occasions.
That's exactly what it's for, see Money.
But,
okay.
You get to see people, which is also pretty cool. And I actually put on all my profiles, and I don't know if you guys would do the same if you were all single, cannabis girls preferred, obviously, because I want to fucking smoke when we hang out, of course, right? And what's interesting, and one of the reasons why I do that is because I actually have girls message me, why is that? Why do you say that? Whatever. And one of the main reasons is because I tell them because it makes sex incredible. I mean, I think it does. I think it makes sex so much better. And it's actually starting to be proven for women. It can heighten their orgasm and make it more intense. So it's not to like, right? And what's actually interesting is Frank the Tank and I were speaking about it earlier, and he seems to have more knowledge than I do. So Frank, I want you to take it away and crack an egg of knowledge for all of us.
Thank you for that generous introduction there, Simone. I do know a lot about sex. I have been around the block quite a bit, if I do say so myself. But not all of us have the looks of the model here, the face of the Podheads Webshow, Simone. He can just go on social media and like that, swipe right and he's getting laid.
There it is.
But I read something the other day. I'm all about the knowledge. I'm kind of a nerd. I read something the other day that absolutely shook me to my core. And what it is that after a trend of 30 years, as of 2018, American adults are having less sex than ever before.
Wow.
America's reporting it at an all-time high.
I gotta say, I believe that.
I do too.
I'm a statistic right now.
That's crazy, man. Ah, you motherfucker.
Well, we all heard the age-old adage that when sex dies after marriage, right? But according to a recent survey reported by the Salt Lake Tribune, amongst 23% of Americans are basically said for over a year they have been in a celibate state. That's 1 in 4, guys. That's 1 in 4. That's one of us. Have not had sex in a year.
K-Strad?
I just had sex last week. What are you talking about? No, like 3 days ago.
That is a crazy number. 23%, 25%. Americans, holy smoke, I would have never guessed that much.
So the average American is a little bit older, and we're actually getting married younger as well. And because we're an older population, there's been no boom in baby births or anything like that. More people are reporting no sex. It's actually pretty crazy. Here's some statistics that I want to give you guys. Some numbers compared from 1989 to 2018. People that were having sex on a weekly rate reported in 1989, 50% of Americans were reporting weekly sex back in 1989. In 2018, just under 40%. About 39% of Americans are reporting weekly sex in 2018. People who reported monthly sex were coming in at about 35% in 1989. 2018, they're coming in at about 36%. So probably they've been about the most steady. People who are just like not very sexual, get a nut out once a month. You know what I mean? But one of the bigger factors is the people who were having sex at all, who weren't having sex at all, went from 20% in 1989. Matter of fact, went from about 18% in 1989 to 23% in 2018. So 5%. The numbers are there. People are having less sex. And you know what? I don't know about you guys, but it seems that way, right? I remember maybe back in, let's say 2007, when I first got out of the military, I was going, dude, I got my wife and I at the time, we split and I went on a tear. It wasn't hard. It was like shooting fish in a barrel, but I don't get it. Like,
it has to be. It's society, bro. Society. I think it has deals with money. I think people have less money than we had before, even in the 80s, maybe, so the ballers aren't really balling, or let me not say the ballers, but like the normal people don't have as much money. I'll say that. Stress, you don't got time. You got to work, right?
You're married, JB, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, have you noticed a difference over the years of whether having sex after you got married, before you got married, or you said it yourself, you're suffering from that, not trying to get too personal.
So no, I not only, I guess I attribute it, I say stress earlier because I guess that's what I think attributes it to having less sex as you grow older. You have other responsibilities. especially after the child came, that definitely, made that time gap a little longer. You grow older, your responsibilities become more. You're a free time. Sleep. I only get 5-6 hours of sleep on a daily. Maybe I just rather take a nap. Rather sleep than have sex. And that goes on both sides, male and female. So yes, I believe those numbers are true, but I think that the reasons could be, dozens probably.
Let's go around real quick. Let's go around the loop, around the cipher. What is the longest anybody has ever gone without having sex here? Let's start with K-Strat.
I think mine was like 2.5 years. I think it was the most.
Woo, that's a doozy, bro. That's a long time.
That's tough.
Were you in jail?
No, it was.
Felt like it.
Well, it's funny though because it was in a relationship, and then like halfway through the relationship, just sex stopped, and I was just like, and then I was just like, didn't feel it. After that, like I was disgusted by women for a little bit. I was like, I'm gonna do my thing, kind of focus, and I didn't really go out, so I didn't get to meet anybody. So, but yeah, it was 2.5 years. It's got a bit.
Understandable. That's rough, bro. That is rough. What about you, C-Money, JB?
I would say 10 months.
Okay, it's a long time still.
Yeah.
I would say mine was like 6 months, give or take a month or two. So 6 months, 8 months. I don't remember exactly, but it was months, and I was, pulling my hair out. You know what I'm saying? So,
it's tough to get that nut stuck,
Yeah. Probably about a year for me. Close to a year deployment. Being deployed and shit, not getting none right before, not getting none until a little bit after. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no choice there. I mean,
no.
I had a choice and I just wasn't getting any, okay?
Yo, but kind of to add on what C-Money said earlier, with that smoking and having sex really does enhance it. And I can't tell. I'm a pothead, so completely like it's really the same. I'm always high, so I really can't tell the difference when I'm not. But my girlfriend, she tried it, and the only 2 times that she tried it, was when she was high. So that she liked it. She was like, "Oh my God, this is awesome!" And it feels so much better after I guess whenever you reach the climax, just that relaxation plus the weed already being kicked in your body. You're just like, you feel even more melty.
Hey, I got it for you here. This is when Frank the Tank told me that we were going to talk about this sex. I was like, well, for me, it's like a Viagra pill for me. It's like my libido again shoots through the roof. And I was like, why aren't more people talking about it? Well, there you go, K-Strat. To you, it doesn't act that way. So it's not the same for everybody else. So I started doing some Googling here, and there have been studies done about weed and sex. Some of it's a little outdated because weed became even more illegal when the drug war really started kicking off. But I think the reports are going to start coming out. But basically, the reports that are out there basically show that it's not for everybody. For some people, K-Strat's point said it's the greatest thing since sliced freaking butter pecan bread, right? Some others say it's the worst. It's sloppy. It's I can't concentrate. This, that, and the third. So it all depends on everybody else. But I wanted to read through this fucking thing for you guys and came up with some pros and cons about what the study. I couldn't figure out the word study.
So you're saying there's a study that has weighed in on whether weed actually does make sex better?
Correct. There are some pros and there are some cons, and I'll just blast right through these for you. Here's some pros, guys. Increased libido. The study shows that people who smoke have an increased libido, increased sexual desires. That foreplay, smoking before pro-free does make you more aroused. Okay, so that's a pro, and I fall under that one. My libido skyrockets. Here, I'm gonna give you a con now. The dosing effect. Okay, the study also found that the more weed you smoked, okay, if it was bad for you, it made it worse. Okay, if it made it good for you, it made it more good for you. Okay, so that's a negative for you because you don't know how you're gonna react. Okay. Here's another pro for you. It increases sensitivity. K-Strat said it. This girl felt sensitive, felt more relaxed, more aroused, more euphoric in the brain. Okay, there's a cannabis infused female lubricant. Right, I think the name is Foria, and the users say that women report more pleasurable and longer orgasms. Okay, you do that with what you will. Okay. I'll give you a condom. Lower sperm count. Okay, the study shows that men had lower sperm counts.
How's that a con?
Yeah, for real. Each his own, buddy.
What is that? Is that a higher chance to get like a bad one?
Less chance to get pregnant, bro. That's what it means.
Okay.
All right. Here's another pro. Time slows down. People reported that sex, the way you perceive time, it makes it slower, so therefore sex is longer and more pleasurable. Okay, here's a con for our ladies: vaginal dryness. Some people reported vaginal. That's the term they use.
Vaginal.
Or good and vaginal. Some people reported vaginal dryness. That's not good for any player involved. Okay, that's definitely a con, guys. And I'll give you one more pro. The study reported in more intense orgasms for women and men. Their orgasms lasting longer, like 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Some even reported a minute. I also fall that I can definitely claim that when I ejaculate, when I come, when I'm having sex, the feeling is like sustained, increased and sustained. So like I said, if it does it for you, I say smoke it up. But the bottom line is this, guys. It isn't for everybody, okay? You gotta know yourself. So experiment. If you're a weed smoker, brand new to it, a pro, but you haven't had sex with it, experiment. Dose yourself and find out. Everybody's different, right?
That's right. That's right.
For me, love it.
And absolutely, look, we're advocates for 420 use in all forms and in every aspect of your life, but we don't push it on anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's for some people it ain't for them. You know, so I just want to make that a point because we do talk about 420 shit all the time, but we don't care if you smoke or not. But let's move on, guys. We got to take a break. Things are moving smooth and I'm loving it, but I can't talk about sex too long before I start having to take a break anyway, take care of business. But you know what also makes sex better is tech. I'm a little bit of a freak. I like to have some toys in the bed, maybe for the girl, a little vibrator action, who knows? I'm a kind of guy that'll buy you vibrating panties as a stocking stuffer. I'm just saying, call me a romantic. So I'm big on tech, but not as big as our homeboy K-Strat, man. He's the guy that I call whenever I want to buy a new game, whenever I want to buy a new gadget. And today you're kicking it for us a little bit different, right? We're not talking about video games. We're talking about tech, right? Toked Tech?
That's right. Yeah, it's Toked Tech. Tech. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about some awesome tech. Everybody, loves new technology. What's gonna be out? What's the latest and the greatest, and we've been kind of stuck on that kind of train for a while on some tech, and especially when it comes to like the phones and such. So that actually brings me to my first one, which is our foldable phones. Yep, you heard right. Our phones will now be able to fold. Soon, Huawei is going to be introducing the Mate X, which is also going to be 5G ready. So that's also the next generation of our networking that's going to be increasing our speed and our downloads and streaming and all that good stuff. But yeah, that's going to be soon to come. Samsung will also be putting out their $1,900 phone, Galaxy Fold, which is also pretty crazy. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be coming out sometime mid this year, or hopefully by the end of this year. Moving on into the iPhone tech. iPhone 11 will soon be announced, but there was a rumor that it's going to be offering two-way charging. You're wondering, what the heck is that? So
I know what it is. My Galaxy S10.
Yeah, see, Samsung already has a step ahead on that. And Apple will be putting theirs on the iPhone 11. So that's as much specs we got for that iPhone 11, but we'll keep an eye out for that. Also, in further news, we got Google Plus rests in peace. Finally is out of the picture. Google Plus used to be that extra application icon that nobody really clicked on, but had a lot of cool features. It never really developed as well, and people didn't really adapt it. So Google has cut the cord on that. So we will lay that to rest. Bye. And moving on even further, we got the Valve Index VR headset, which is going to be a new competitor to the Sony PlayStation and the Oculus. This Valve is actually was known for making games. Is this company called Valve, and they're known for making Half-Life, Portal, and Dota 2. So they created their prototype for the virtual reality headset, and they're going to be putting it out hopefully by May 1st. That's when they were going to be announcing their
I can't do virtual reality, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
Well, this is actually going to have a dual set, which is going to be augmented reality and virtual reality. So we'll see how that's going to work out. And that's all for today's Toked Tech. I really hope you guys enjoyed the news and the latest and the greatest when it comes to technology and also science. So stay tuned. We're going to be coming at you with some C-Money's Burns My High, and we're also going to be finishing the talk with the cancer. So stay tuned. Remember, follow us, share, like, and we'll see you in a bit.
It's the end of the night. Grab whatever it is you was grinding on and take it the fuck home. Please take it home. I ain't playing with you. Get it out of here. Get gone. Cause it's time to go. You can't stay here. You can't stay here. Oh, cause it's time to go. You can't stay here. You can't stay here. I'm not playing. I ain't playing with you. I'm not playing. I'm not playing with you. I'm not playing. I ain't playing with you. I'm not playing.
Hey everybody, it's me again. Welcome back to the Podheads Webshow at the Podheads Webshow. Instagram, YouTube, and everything else out there at Making C Money. Guys, I also wanted to do a quick shout out before I tell you what burned my high this past week. GCW, Live Forever, GCW 5 in St. Port Richey. Don't remember the name of the venue, it'll be in the description. Was a dope time as always, entertainment through the roof. The crowd was interesting this time, to say the least. And, they always put on a good show. The event center was pretty awesome. They had food, they had a bar, that was pretty dope. We were there, obviously there's pictures on our Instagram. There's some footage that I put up of the matches. It's awesome, it's a good time. So GCW guys, if you hear about us talking about it, there's actually tickets on sale now, I think, for the 6 on 420. So we'll have a link for that too. Click the link, buy tickets. Why not? It's a good time if you have nothing else to do, especially. Yeah, hell of a show. But you know what, guys, that being said, I think it's time for my favorite segment, ironically, even though it's fun. But it's a good way for me to vent, and it's what burns my high. So it's what I tell you over the past week or so, what I've jotted down throughout my personal life, what it just takes me a long way.
Let me get my popcorn real quick.
Yeah, for real. And again,
get my tea.
It's like a double-edged sword, because not only does it aggravate me, but then I have to smoke more and waste more stash and more money. So yeah, guys, I want to let you know what's been bothering me this past week or so and what really burned my high. So let me just start off. I got 5 of them for you. How about, and this is a shout out to all my retail buddies when I was younger working in the retail stores, how about working at a job that replays the same music every single day? That mind-numbing playlist that makes you want to just implode on the inside, especially around Christmas time when it's the same 12 Christmas tracks and it ruins Christmas music forever. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can relate, but fuck that. The second one I have for you guys, this is a shout out to my gamer friends. Maybe Kate Strat can relate, and I know you guys are gamers too. I don't know about you, but when you play fighting games, you ever notice how sometimes the game gets incredibly hard out of nowhere, especially when you're kicking a computer's ass, and then that one match you just get fucking leveled and you're...
It's like,
right? Okay,
and
so it's not just me.
You get stuck in that one little loop, and you're like, fuck, and you're like, no, I'm not gonna lower down the level. No, I'm not gonna lower down the difficulty.
Right. Especially in games like Injustice, where you're getting slammed into the ground and shit, and you can't do anything.
That game totally trolls you, bro. It just keeps you in the corner.
Yeah.
It's a fucking bully of a game. But the next one I got for you guys, how about this? All my smoker friends, when you hit a blunt or a joint or whatever, and a nug shoots down the back of your throat.
Oh, Scooby Snacks.
Yeah, Scooby Snacks. That's a good sign.
I want to throw up just thinking about it.
You do. You actually want to throw up. You can feel the hairy, fuzzy little fucking nug. This might be a weird one, but I don't know about you guys, but when women wear these gladiator Amazon sandal things, it's probably the ugliest, dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen. Like, ladies, I appreciate a beautiful leg, a beautiful whatever, and like cute feet, but you are the farthest thing. I don't care how badass CrossFit meat-headed you are. You are the farthest thing from an Amazon or a fucking gladiator. Like, recognize that they could kill lions with their bare hands or some shit close to it. You know what I mean? But last but not least, and it kind of coincides because I saw it at the airport today, those stupid fucking shoes, sandals, whatever. Now, this is just, in general, what I jotted down was literally stupid people in airports and planes. And what I mean by that is the people these TSA guys are literally saying over and over the same thing. Take this out, take this out, take this out. And I'm sitting there just watching this one guy, and he's not listening, and she's right next to him. Like, it's almost like something in a cartoon where she's like, sir, put your laptop in your cell phone. You know what I mean? And he does none of it. He gets up, he holds the entire line up. Then he decides to put the laptop in the bin. People are trying to obviously get through their flights. He walks through the fucking thing. The thing starts beeping, it goes off. He goes, sir, did you take your cell phone out? He goes, oh no, I'm sorry, I forgot.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Fuck me. And then the guy in front of me had 2 suitcases and didn't understand the concept that anything electronic had to come out of both suitcases. So he sends one through, goes through fine, but didn't do it to the other one. Holds me up, bro. I wanted to kill him. I wanted to snap his neck. Just quickly.
I want to take kneecaps out by then, bro. Especially if I'm running late. Especially if I'm running late. Oh my god, I would kill him.
I will say something. I'm the guy that'll be like, are you fucking kidding me, guy?
Are you kidding me, guy?
Dude, I can't. I don't have patience for inconsideration. That's what it comes down to, see, money, and I feel you there. It's inconsideration.
Burned my hind, forcing me to smoke more weed and waste more money. But you know what? It's cool because, I'm also trying to do a whole life change like my co-hosts here, my best buds, trying to be more zen, not angry. Because I've also read that these negative emotions can cause really serious diseases and illnesses. It's actually a known scientific fact. Do your own research. And dare I say, and go back to the big cancer, the big C, that can be one of them, especially from a life of anger and just hot-headedness, constant high blood pressure, this, that, and the third. But, I mean, what do you guys think? I know you guys have more info on this whole cancer thing than I do, so take it away.
K-Strap was watching a documentary, right? And that's why we wanted to talk about this, so K-Strap.
Yeah, so this documentary, like I mentioned, it's called What the Health? And it's pretty crazy because it really opened my mind into the stuff that we eat normally, like every single day. And we don't really think about these things because they've always, the agriculture, Department of Agriculture has always told us, there's that pyramid of the stuff that you got to eat in certain portions and blah, blah, blah. And so, those are the stuff that's nutritious. But in reality, that's actually all the stuff that really promotes cancer. And it's like, for example, one of them is the egg. Everybody's always told us, the eggs, like,
love eggs.
I love eggs. Like, everybody loves eggs. But it's actually not really good for you. It's actually it's linked to one of the leading causes in diabetes. Now, the thing that I like about this series is that it opened my mind to what sicknesses really are. Like diabetes, I always thought, oh, it's because you eat a lot of sugar, but in reality, it's not. It's because of the fats that we intake. It covers the interior of those glands that are supposed to intake that sugar, that after so much of that goo sticking on those little glands, it's not allowing the sugar to be absorbed, and that's what diabetes is. So
low blood sugar, right?
Exactly.
Wow.
And all these things that cause that is usually meats, chicken. Also, they've always told us that chicken is one of the things that, it's healthier than beef, the healthier portion, but it's actually not. It's the same as beef. And it's because of the cholesterol, the hormones that are injected. A lot of times, people think, oh, maybe because I do organic, it's going to be better, but it's actually not. So it really opens your mind onto all these things. And not only that, what I really liked about this episode was that it kind of it shines that light on all the corrupt companies that are within us, like the American Diabetes Association, American Cancer Society, the Susan G, the Breast Cancer Awareness, and American Heart Association. They're all being funded by like Dana and Kraft, Bumblebee, Tyson, KFC, by the actual foods that are causing you to get sick. So what happens is in this series, they went to go and talk to all these hospitals and try to get information, and the hospitals bluntly said, we don't want to talk to you because we need people to get sick. Basically, in lame terms, is we need people to get sick because that's our money flow. So they care more about money than people's health, and it's job security at the end.
Cancer is like uncontrolled cell reproduction, right? And that always made my mind think like it's just too much of something. So I always felt like if you have too much, even of a good things, if you just have too much of something, that's always bad. Isn't that the saying? Yep. Too much of a good thing is a bad thing. I think that's how I think of cancer. So have some sugar, have some beef, have some chicken, have some egg, but in moderation. Know what portions you can or you should eat, and do that. Don't overdo it, because then cancer shit happens.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah, life is all about balance. I talk about it all the time. Life is about balance. Hey, indulge, have some fun every once in a while, just not too much. But it's like those type of things, snacks, cookies, chips, that's not the kind of shit you should be eating on a daily basis. You should be eating vegetables on a daily basis, fruit. I sound like an old bastard. But save the bullshit for the weekend. In my opinion, bro, there's nothing. Look, weed increases the senses, right? So there's nothing that tastes more incredible than fruit when you are absolutely fucking baked out of your mouth, bro. Mango,
dude. Juicy
strawberries, pineapple. Oh my God, yeah. So eat healthy. You know what I do for breakfast, guys? Damn near every day for breakfast, I have like a smoothie. Mango, apples, strawberry, banana, whatever. And all it is a little bit of vegetables, mainly fruit, and a little bit of almond milk. And that's it. Almond milk's probably not healthy for me either. But for the most part, I try to keep it just as natural as possible, because it has literally everything you need. I changed from coffee to that because I started doing some research about, my next higher learning, which is right now, by the way, #higher learning. I love to imbue my knowledge on everybody who's watching. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to talk about the big C word, the cancer. Everybody's got cancer nowadays, guys. Crazy. Alex Trebek. I mean, my grandparents, K-Strad's dad. It seems like every single person that you can come across nowadays have come into contact with somebody who's been affected by cancer. And I just had to do some reading about it, because I'm like, God damn, how do I stop from getting cancer? Because it seems like everybody is getting it. And I found out some very interesting things. You know, we all know the obvious things, but there's a little bit more to it than we realize. So I looked up something, and I found something inside Business Insider, an article called 27 of the Most Dangerous Things Science Has Strongly Linked to Cancer. I'm not going to go through all 27 of them because some of them are obvious ones, but there are some that I wanted to delve into a little bit more. The number one thing that is responsible for us getting cancer, sugar is the number one cancer-causing substance out there. I mean, besides what, radioactivity and inhale. Right. We're talking about things that you just normally put in your body. So the thing about sugar is that cancer actually loves it. Fuels tumor growth. Cancer actually feeds on the sugar. So if you're a cancer patient and you're taking in sugar, you are wrong. You need to, if I had cancer, I would completely cut sugar out of my diet because you're essentially starving the cancer itself, you know, because they use that as fuel. You know what I mean? A Belgian molecular biologist in 2017 basically stated hyperactive sugar consumption of cancerous cells leads to a vicious cycle continued of stimulation of cancer development and growth. So basically, you get it from having too much sugar. Next one, guys, is processed foods. And processed foods, what I mean by that could be anything that comes in a package. We're talking Oreos to a can of beans. That's honestly, processed foods, anything that has something added to it to extend its life or has been packaged in plastic or anything like that is causing you to get more cancer. It's not natural.
It's not natural. It's not a food. It's not a food, right?
There's an article coming out of France where scientists zeroed in on a link between people who eat more processed foods and people who have cancer.
Not surprising.
No, not surprising at all. The next one that really jumped out at me that I think that is obvious, but most people don't really tend to appreciate is toxic chemicals at work. Think about this, people. If you're a barber, if you do nails, if you do makeup, if you work in the service industry in any way, shape, or form, cars, AC, even in some offices, you are coming into contact on a daily basis with cancer, with carcinogens, okay? Nail salon workers, tar pavers, hair workers, and people who work around rubbers and plastics are amongst the worst. They are getting cancer at a high rate because you're talking about industrial materials being melted or mixed, and there are fumes, and there's only so much that a little HEPA filter is going to do for that. We absorb things through our skin, people. So if you work at a nail salon and you are not properly ventilated, if you're not wearing the proper protection, you are increasing your chances of getting cancer. Here's another one that most of you barbecue eaters, most of you, you love the grill. We all love to grill. Really affects charred meat and grilling over an open flame. Now we've all heard the myths about char lines and things like that. Cooking on a dirty grill can cause cancer, but it doesn't just end at cleaning your grill. Apparently, according to this study, muscle meats that are in chicken and beef, like you mentioned earlier, K-Strad, they are compounds called heterocyclic amines, okay, HCAs, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs. These chemicals, all right, these compounds inside these muscles, inside all of our muscles, all right, when they drip, when these muscles are heated at an accelerated rate, like over an open flame, and they drip these compounds, the burning fire creates fumes which can be carcinogenic.
Oh, I see. So you're basically smoking your meat in carcinogens.
In cancer.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah. I'll give you two more before we get out of here. One that really blew me away was alcohol. I love my drink. I've always been the kind of guy who said, you know what, if I'm not drinking too much beer, maybe a nice glass of whiskey, maybe some wine, I'll be fine. But what is alcohol heavy in? Sugar, right? And according to what is this? According to the same study, regular heavy alcohol consumption can up your risk of developing several different kinds of cancer, to include throat and colon cancer.
Ooh.
And the last one I'll give you before we get out of here, guys, and literally the worst one that really breaks my heart, is processed meats like ham, bacon, and sausages.
Sure, yeah.
If you love your IHOP, if you love your breakfast meats, it's killing us, people.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter if you're eating turkey bacon, okay? You're people that are lying to you. Dude, I ate turkey bacon for like 6 months, and I said, fuck this. This is not extending no time. Give me the real shit. I'm out. But yeah, if you like your sausages, hot dogs, bacon, according to the World Health Organization, processed meats such as those, they have preservatives and flavorings and techniques like salting and curing, fermenting and smoking that essentially change the biological makeup of these meats and kills you. And I guess the main thing is, guys, this: anytime you change the biological makeup of anything, there are mutations that take place. Anytime you add a foreign object into anything in its natural state, there are changes. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. And many times, what the hell we're eating and putting in our body, it's bad. Whether you believe in God or whether you believe in science, when we were put on this earth, everything that we needed was here. Water, fruit, vegetables, and some animals. You know what I'm saying? Some believe we're supposed to eat the animals, some believe we're not. But the fact of the matter is, the more foreign shit that we're putting in our body, processed foods, snacks, candies, the more crazy ways we decide to cook our food, and the more chemicals we decide to add, we are changing our DNA. That is causing us to die from the inside out. The rates of cancer are skyrocketing, people, and the only thing that is really going to change it is our conscious choices to question what we're eating, decide to eat healthy. You know, don't just go to your average Walmart and pick up whatever the hell they're feeding you. You know, ask where your food is coming from, pay attention to what you're doing, and hopefully, you know, stay off of the soda, by the way. That's killing people. Sugar is killing people. So hopefully we can all get it together, live long, healthy lives. And that's basically my 2 cents. That's higher learning. Guys, hear from your commander-in-chief.
Very well done, sir. With his 2 cents right at the end. And I think that's a great spot to end the show, guys. On cancer, it's all about excess, man. Moderation, balance, excess, all those words. Okay? Podheads JB on all social media platforms. Get on us on Instagram, Facebook. You're on YouTube at the Podheads Webshow. I'm going to give one last shout out to GCW. We were there last week. It was a blast. I can't wait to do it again. I want to put another shout out in the air for Care Beyond. Get your free samples, people. CBD works, and this company that we work with, they're the legit real deal. So do your research, get your free samples, and then I put one up in the air for all of our fans and followers. It's the reason we're here. The reason we're still doing this because we get the love from you, so we're gonna keep doing it. Yeah, Podheads JB. Go ahead, C Money.
At Making C Money, guys, at the Podheads Webshow. And like JB said, to his point, everything's about moderation. And do your own research. There are natural things out there that help keep cancer away, you know what I'm saying? And obviously, cannabis is one of them. Hopefully my buds and myself smoke enough cannabis to kill anything. But we'll see, right? But it was fun. As always, it was a good episode, guys. K-Strat, take it away.
All right, at KStratB on Instagram, and check out my streams for the gaming on Twitch at Tank25 with that number 2 and that FIV. But yeah, keep your tacos safe. And Frank,
yes, sir.
Take it away.
Keep those damn tacos safe. You heard it from the producer extraordinaire. Guys, it's always a pleasure kicking it in the cipher with my very best buds. Don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms. Show us love. We will show it right back. Look out for our sponsors. The links are below. You can just click on them. They'll take you to the websites. GCW. Nothing else on .tv. You got to check them out. Honestly, if you're into indie wrestling, if you're into wrestling at all, they are the next big thing. Catch them while they're still cheap. Care Beyond.
Yep.
Dude, CBD is the big deal right now. Everybody's in the CBD, but not everybody's actually giving you CBD. If you're reading cannabis oil, hemp oil on your shit, it ain't legit. If you're getting your shit offline on Amazon, it ain't legit. Do the research. Care Beyond is legit. Check them out. Click the link and you can get a free sample just from us. And also, That Who Smoke Shop right here in Central Florida, one of our partners. Click their link. That'll take you to their social media page. They've got everything you need. Awesome prices, and the staff in there is top notch. It's not just a bunch of stoners who are going to be like, whatever, dude. They're actually very informative, especially if you like vaping. Homeboy Carlos in there knows literally everything about vaping. So click that link if you're interested. Guys, that's a wrap for us. Podhead Frank checking out. Stay tuned for all of our shit on the Podheads Network. Love you guys. It's the Pod.
Podhead.